What's up, everybody from Facebook, YouTube, or wherever you're listening to us from? My name is Pedro Dominguez. As always, I'm here with my good friends Zach Lewis and Travis Gross, and our special guest today, Kevin Danger Johnson. Kevin, thank you for being a part of our newest episode of Netflix and Chillin, which is our 13th episode, which is kind of funny because we're going to be talking about 13 Reasons Why today, and full spoilers. So guys, if you have not seen the show on Netflix, veer away from watching this episode, go watch it, come back, and then hear our review. So, unless you like spoilers and you don't give a damn, then let's get right into the review. Wow, one hell of a show. Zach, I want to start with you. How did you feel about 13 Reasons Why?
Wow. Like, it was heavy stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, really, like, this movie, like, you hit or not a movie, but series.
Yeah.
You hit every emotion in this thing.
Yeah.
Just wow. You know, I don't even know where to begin with how good it was. I'm actually gonna defer. Let's start with Kevin, because he has been a long time coming to bring him back on one of our shows here. So Kevin, let's get some of your thoughts.
The show is fucking delightful. No, all right. So
for lack of a better term, I guess.
It was delightful in all the wrong reasons. I think it's a very important show more than anything.
Oh, yeah.
Because nothing really accurately depicts this kind of source material. And there were some moments that, like, you were happy, and some moments that you were absolutely just distraught, and you wanted to... It has a lot of moments where your heart is going to be ripped out. Like... Spoilers, the last episode when you actually finally see the suicide happen.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly visual. And it was very hard for me to watch, and I've seen some screwed up movies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and when
that's
the mother
actually...
walks in the room.
I also cringed when she did this when the suicide
we
happened.
all
I
did.
talked to Pedro about this earlier. I called him and asked him. I was like, usually I'm really good at just like watching stuff and be able to like not be affected by it, but I was like wincing, and I was like, oh god, like, you ever see True Detective? Yeah. Remember when when Marty has to watch like the tape?
Yeah,
that's how I was during that scene. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was.
And it felt so real, like as you mentioned, like when the mom found her, because like obviously she's dead, you know, like it's obviously she's dead, but the shock value didn't hit her, and she's like, no, you're okay, like she couldn't comprehend
that.
It.
That was probably the hardest scene to watch, definitely.
All of it, and you know, just everything is like, it's so well done, and the directing, the cinematography, everything. I mean,
I would say that was my biggest like of it more than anything, was how it was done, like the cinematography of it, and how the shots were, and how, especially the transitions.
The transitions
and the cuts, yes.
Those were the best. Or how you would see during a flashback, and you would see present Clay there looking at it. Like the one scene in the library with him and Jeff, and then someone walks by, and then he's not there anymore. Yeah. Then you're just in the flashback. Like, that was so well done, all of it.
Yeah, I loved it.
Can we talk about Jeff?
Oh my god! Now let me say this. Well,
you go.
All right, yeah. I honestly thought like Jeff, like out of all the jocks, he was my favorite because he treated Clay like a little brother to him. Yeah. You know, like he was such a good friend to each other. You know, and it's just like, you know.
Yeah, because he was a jock. He was popular, but he was also just a really good dude, and he was a real friend to Clay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was one of the most well done things in the show, was that twist. It wasn't until about like 5 to 10 minutes before it happened, when you see Clay in a flashback talk to him, and he says that he's going to go out for a beer run.
Yep, that's the exact moment that I'm like, oh god, because in like one of the early episodes, they say, they're like, yeah, we had 2 students die in a matter of months, and I'm thinking like, who only shows up in the flashbacks? And I, like, Jeff never hit me, and then as soon as he said that, I was like, oh my god, like, it's him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I actually didn't see it coming. I really didn't pay attention to that portion, like when they said that stuff, and when Jeff said the beer run and stuff, it didn't really hit me until like when you finally see
when it actually happened.
Him coming around to the side of the car. You see him dead in the car.
Yeah, you actually.
And he said Jeff, no, or whatever, and it didn't even hit me then because I didn't really recognize who Jeff was, because like he's kind of more of a side character, so I never really fully paid attention to him during the course of the show. And I liked him as a character. I just never really paid it. Like he was more of like off to the side compared to the rest of the characters in the show. And he said it, and I'm like, who's Jeff? And then they showed the flashback of him talking to him, and I'm like, oh god. And then it really hit me there.
Yeah, it crushed me, because even though he was a side character and he barely popped up, Jeff was definitely my favorite character in the show. He was like a comedic relief and like the big brother, like to Clay. And the whole unique conversation, I was like cracking up the entire time.
If you have 6 things that are unique, like really only one can be unique.
Yeah, can we talk about this show? Even though it had such strong material, it was very funny. It had a very funny moment.
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely did.
Yeah.
I laughed quite a lot.
You gotta have
I wouldn't mention
during the early episodes, of course. During the later episodes, there wasn't that
Actually,
much
there was
humor.
one joke in the later episode, and I think it was my favorite joke in the entire thing. And that's when Bryce beats the shit out of Clay, and he goes home to his dad. His dad's like, I've told you I fell off my bike. He's like, what, did you fall on Mike Tyson?
Yeah, that was really
I
funny.
died laughing when he said
his
that.
dad was hilarious.
His dad was my favorite character in the show.
I fucking love the one scene when his mom punishes him, and then the next morning he's like, listen, I talked to your mom, and I convinced her to stay at her original stance. I thought he was just such a funny dude.
He was my favorite character in the show, honestly. Like, out of every character, because, like, they were all likable, but also unlikable, except for his dad. I feel like his dad was the only really likable character.
Okay, now, let me say this. Now, exceptional, except Bryce, because we can all agree Bryce is the biggest piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
But he's the literal devil.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he is.
But
and
besides,
then Tony's like the opposite, where Tony, I feel like...
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Tony wasn't really a piece of shit. Like he was just a good dude trying to do.
Tony was my other favorite character. I absolutely adore Tony.
Yeah, because even at the end when he realized, he's like, "Hey, I thought I was doing the right thing, but you do deserve to hear this. I'm sorry." Right. He had to make that decision on his own to sort of go against what Hannah wanted.
I agree.
But back when I was saying, besides Bryce being the biggest piece of shit in the whole series, who would you say is like second to him?
Jessica.
Courtney.
You were so quick on that, yeah.
Which was
Courtney? Courtney was the gay one, the Asian woman.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
And Jessica was the friend.
I don't know if she was the worst. Honestly, I don't see really any of them as being the worst.
Courtney was really two-faced. That was the problem.
Yeah, that was my problem with Courtney. She was so two-faced, and I was telling Pedro this earlier, that it was really funny because I was watching it with a friend because they sort of caught up to me, and I was watching an episode with them, and it was like episode like 8 or 9, and Courtney like went to say something, and even before she talked, I was just like, "Fuck off, Courtney!" And they died laughing. And then in one of the last episodes, she talks, and then I think Brian, the gay guy, he with the blonde hair, he was just like, "Fuck off, Courtney." I'm like, "Yes!" I'm like, "Yes!"
Yep.
It was so I died at that because I said it.
Kevin, why do you hate Jessica so much?
I think Jessica is one of the stupidest, most fucking annoying characters in the entire show.
I mean, she got raped by Bryce, so I mean, she's kind of a victim too.
Everyone in that show is a victim except for Bryce, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, at the end, you really feel bad for her because once she realizes everything and she breaks down, but before she just does so much stupid shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was kind of going crazy to be fair. She was from that whole traumatic experience.
Turning into an alcoholic, which was I don't know. I really felt like that really wasn't needed as a plot point, but I don't know. I want to talk about like my favorite character, which is gonna be probably pretty unpopular with you guys. My favorite character thought it was Justin.
Yeah.
And I'll explain why. Because listen, he wasn't like a class act, all right?
Yeah.
He wasn't a great guy. But what I loved about his character was the depth that he had as a character. And that's why I loved him so much. I felt like he had the most depth out of any character because he did these fucked up things, but you can tell like he was in a really bad place himself. And even like when he was trying, like he wasn't really trying to defend Bryce, but you gotta understand like when Bryce did that, and you saw how it was for Justin at his house. Like, he had nowhere else to go. He couldn't stay at his house, and Bryce took him in, and what's he going to do that and end up on the street? And so, like, his character, while I obviously don't agree with everything that he did, and he did play, like, an antagonistic role for most of it, I just loved the writing of his character because of the depth that it gave him and the redemption that he eventually has.
Yeah, and I do like that Justin... I like that he was really tried to explain it as, like, he was trying to protect Jessica. He didn't want her to find out because he didn't want her to go nuts.
Which is one of the moments where I hate Jessica the most, because you see Justin, like, he truly loves her, and he gives so much of a shit about her, and he's trying so hard, and she's just like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, she's having none of it.
But imagine being her, though, in that scenario where she finds out about this and finds out that her boyfriend at the time played a part in it. And wasn't able to stop it.
Yeah, because he didn't do anything about that situation when it actually happened.
Yeah, he tried to go in, but Bryce just sort of shoved him out. Yeah. But I don't know, man. Like, just like, if that was me, like, I'd be breaking that door down, you know? But, that's just one of the things that I love about Justin, because he was so conflicted. And it's not really, I don't want to say, like, I love him, like, oh my God, like, he was the best character, I relate so much. Like, no, not at all. It's just that he was just so well written with that depth. So for me, his story arc was my favorite because of that fact.
On a lighter note, is it just me, or did Justin kind of look like Dave, like guy who played him, look like Dave Franco, like a younger?
Kind of.
Definitely.
And a couple,
I
like,
don't see it.
You know what? Actually, I felt weird. I saw he kind of looks like him, but I actually thought that he kind of sounded like him.
Yeah.
In some scenes, like when he was like crying and yelling, I'm like, it kind of sounds like Dave Franco,
right?
Just with like that little slight like raspy accent that he has.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the main character, Hannah. We haven't really talked about her at all.
Yeah, let's get right into Hannah and Clay here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I would say that Clay is the main character more than Hannah.
True.
Definitely.
True.
I think they're kind of co-main characters, because really, like, episodes like sort of 1 and 2 sort of focus on Clay, and then pretty much from there on it mainly focuses on Hannah for the next few episodes, and then Clay sort of picks back up towards the end as his storyline goes. So I really think they're like co-main characters.
All right. Well, what about them?
Well, I mean, for me,
I don't think there's really much we could say about them, because they were very well written.
They're both extremely likable.
Yeah.
From the get-go. From the first time that you hear Hannah's tape saying, hey, this is Hannah, I knew, I'm like, all right, she's very likable.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously Clay, you just know the entire time that, like, oh, he's such a good dude. And you're thinking the entire time, like, what the hell could he have done? You know, because, like, he seems like such a dude, and then you do realize that he really didn't do anything. She just wanted him on the tape so that he would know that he didn't do anything, and it was because of her.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, at about the time where I got to, like, episode 6, I had predicted that his tape was going to be more like a confession of, like, feelings and, like, love than of, like, oh, you made me kill myself.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite scene with Clay was when he was giving, I told you, Zach, when he was giving the tour for the foreign exchange students, and he was just flipping out in the middle of the hall. That was my favorite
scene.
Hey,
that's Justin. Hey, where's my bike? He stole my bike.
Oh my God, that was so funny. I love that.
The state-of-the-art technology
I think my favorite
art was 10 years ago. You know?
Yeah, I do want to mention, though, that Dylan Minnette as Clay and that Catherine Langford as Hannah, they were phenomenal.
Yeah, they were.
They were like, and really like
Catherine Langford's actually British. Like,
really
in the behind the scenes, she had a British accent.
Australian.
Oh, was it Australian?
She's also.
They're so similar. Yeah. They have such similar accents.
Yeah, but their acting is so good, and obviously we've seen Dylan Minnette in various things like Don't Breathe and Goosebumps. But Catherine Langford, I mean, I don't think I've seen her in anything. And, like, what I love about Dylan Minnette's role in this is that, I'm like, well, he's good. He's serviceable. He doesn't really hit any of that moment, that big emotional moment. And then when he does, you're like, oh, my God, this guy is such a good actor.
I love him. I loved him in Don't Breathe, and I was really happy seeing him through this entire show.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he did an amazing job.
Yeah,
Can we talk
absolutely.
about Justin Prentice, the guy who played Bryce? Like,
oh fuck, he was really good at making me hate him.
Oh my God, yeah, he was so good. Though.
Let me say
like,
this.
he really made you hate that character. Like that takes some real skill. Like,
I have a point that I do want to hear Pedro though, because Pedro's trying
Yeah.
say something quick.
The thing about Bryce is, yeah, he's the biggest piece of shit. He's literally, in Zach's words, he's the devil. But the thing is like every once in a while, he gives off that likable vibe. You know, like you want to like this guy.
He is so likable. Like even when Hannah shows up at the party, he's like, "Hey, Hannah Baker, I love the hair." You're like, "Oh my god!" Like I actually, this is actually the thing. At the beginning of episode 9, they give you the warning. It depicts graphic sexual assault and rape, and I'm like, "Oh good god!" You know, "Oh good god." And then I actually had a prediction for a while that Bryce would rape Hannah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and then when she showed up to the party and he says that, I'm like, oh, maybe he's not a bad guy. He is a nice guy. Then I thought of the warning. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, no, he's not. like he's still the devil. I can feel it. Yeah. And then he rapes Jessica. And I talked to Pedro after that. I'm like, I actually told him, I'm like, man, like I was really like thrown off because I thought he was gonna rape Hannah, to be honest with you. And then here we go, 2 episodes later, this fucking guy, you know, like, oh my god.
Yeah,
but
no,
like
he
did
just
give off those likable vibes, and even after the fact, like even when you hate this guy's guts, like even when he's just like when he pours Clay a drink and like clinks his glass, I'm like, oh god, he's still kind of likable, but you hate him, you know?
Oh, I loved that scene where Clay goes to his house.
Yeah.
And the moment he starts like playing and like pretending to like look for money and digging in his backpack, I'm like, that's what he got the other tape recorder for.
Yep. Yeah, and I was like, that is such a smart play.
Yeah.
And then when he kept sort of saying it, I'm like, oh, just fucking confess, you charming piece of shit.
Yeah.
I like how he tried to like fight him. And then he just got his ass handed to him.
It's just like, now why'd you have to go and do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
You felt those punches, man. Like, that hurt.
Oh, yeah. Dude, and even, I do actually want to mention that like, fight that they had, there was, like, a good portion of that was just one shot of him, like, punching him 3 straight times, and, like, that just looked real. I'm like, oh, shit, that is, like, a real fight. Like, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention that I love that they made Bryce like the popular jock, the guy that everyone likes. Like
the head.
You just never know like the type of person that they are. Like on the
actually,
it really
I think
shows
that's a huge cliche. Actually,
yeah.
Really, you think so?
Like the head of all the jocks is the worst one.
Yeah.
I guess kinda, but like he's so likable.
Sometimes it's half and half. Sometimes you get the movies where like the head jock is an asshole, and sometimes you get like the head jock, he's Prince Charming and he comes and saves the day, blah blah blah. You know, so like it really goes half and half either way. But like just from the beginning, I don't know, just like his face, I'm like, there's something wrong with this dude. Like he's a fucked up individual.
I know that the actor. Go ahead, Pedro. You go first.
I was gonna say, one of the last few things I want to bring up is, now I know me and you, Zach, discussed this on the phone earlier today. Was now I want to preface that everybody in this world, we are all human. We make mistakes, and you know we can learn from our mistakes from the future. You know, we just gotta remember, you know, what to do right in situations. Now, I feel like we can all agree that when Zach's character was actually trying to be really nice to Hannah, that he got like the shit hand, you know. And you know, like
absolutely. But I still understood why she did it, just because of how fucked up she was from everyone else at that point.
Right.
And then the fact that he really did go too far with taking out the compliments, because obviously she was in a really dark time there. And so, again, like, she really did sort of start it with him and took it out on him when he didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
But then he was in the wrong after that as well. But I really did like him as a character. Like, even in Alex, who we still need to talk about, because he was a really good character, too.
Yeah.
He says, like, when he's sort of going around the table talking about everyone, he's like, and Zach, like, yeah, you're a bit of a doofus and you did this, like, messed up thing, but you're a nice guy and your heart's probably in the right place. And that's how I felt about him. Like he was a nice guy, you can tell. And even, like, when he was talking to his parents, he was like, yeah, you know, like, I asked her out once, you know, and it's just like he made a mistake, and that's what everyone did in the show, including Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah made some real mistakes, and that was like, I think that was the thing that they really wanted to bring out, is that we're all human and we all make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes just lead to something terrible like that.
Yeah.
We never talked about Marcus.
I fucking hate Marcus.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he was such a nice guy, and like the first time you see him in like or not first time you see him, but like the first time he like has a conversation with Clay in like the sombrero, I'm like, oh, he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. I like him. And then even all the way through it, like I'm like, oh, he's looking out for Clay. And then all of a sudden, like he like tries to like take advantage of Hannah. Yeah. And then he's like, I thought you were easy. I'm like, oh, this guy's a fucking douchebag.
Right. And then he frames
he's
Clay.
So two-faced.
Yeah, he framed Clay.
Yeah, exactly. Got him suspended for 3 days. Like he was just a fucked up person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about how. Okay, you go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
That's okay. I was just gonna say that the guy I wanted to bring up from Bryce, the guy who plays Bryce, in that behind the scenes thing, he said how hard it was to bring his character to life because of how evil he was and all the things he did.
I
he
can
said
only imagine.
bringing those scenes to life was probably one of the hardest things he's ever had to do. Like, I can
you
only
imagine playing that character though, and all these people watching it? Like, he's gonna get like hate mail.
Oh my god, yeah.
He's gonna walk into a store, and people are gonna be like, "I hope you fucking die, you son of a bitch."
In the behind the scenes stuff,
he's probably the nicest guy ever too.
In the behind the scenes stuff, you see him growing a beard.
Yeah, he needs to.
I'm just like, yeah, you should probably do that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But let's talk about how Tyler's gonna probably end up shooting up the school.
Yeah.
Tyler's
that was actually. That was actually part of one of the things that I had an issue with in the show. I feel like in the last episode, it opened up like so many questions and then never answered them.
Well, we are going to get a season 2 because we didn't get the answer to the court case. The parents just found the tapes. They, as you said, they opened up a whole lot of new storylines, and obviously, like even with the counselor and all that. So it's pretty obvious that we're going to get a season 2, which I do think there is enough material here for.
Right. I hope
but
so.
I don't know the whole thing with him, like, because it's pretty obvious that he's the one that killed Alex, because he got the gun and everything, and then he took Alex's picture down, and then lo and behold, Alex shot himself. They're saying, I feel like he's trying to take all of them out, and that's why he has all their pictures up there, and he took Alex's down. So, like, is season 2 going to turn to, like, half of, like, a Scream type thing, where he's this killer going after all of them? Like, I just hope they really don't focus too much on that direction.
Yeah.
Which they didn't say that Alex died. They said he was in critical condition.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I'm sure he will be around for season 2, even just if it's, like, hospital scenes to see, like, because... if they were going to kill him off completely, they would have just done it there.
So I didn't read the book at all because it's based off a book, and I'm curious as to whether or not like that's actually in the book, like if the answers are in the book, or if they're just gonna take like the book, made it into that first season, and then go expand.
That's what I heard. I heard they're gonna go their own path, sort of like how Game of Thrones is doing now that they've passed the books.
Yeah,
I've sort of heard that this is going to sort of. It used the book as like the first step. Now it's gonna go like blaze its own trail.
Right.
Gotcha.
I think it's totally fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
anything else you guys want to talk
about? The very
about?
last thing that I want to mention, and I'm sure Kevin would agree with me on this point.
Last thing.
Because he has also he has also played this game. But did this not give off such a Life is Strange vibe to you?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Oh my god.
Definitely. 100%.
Oh my god! Even from the first from the intro from the first episode, I was like, "Oh my god, this is just Life is Strange."
I got that vibe.
And then
too.
I got into the story, and I'm like, "This isn't Life is Strange," but it feels so much like Life is Strange.
Yeah.
And oh my god, and they're both like, if you haven't played Life is Strange, you really should play it. It's very good. But like, I feel like the guy who directed and like produced it, like I feel like he played Life is Strange. And he's like, you know what would be really cool, and then he went and made this.
Yeah.
And like even in the behind the scenes part, he's like, you can't change the past, and I'm like, oh. That's not a reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so guys, let's get into our ratings. So Kevin, let's start with you. What would you give this show 13 Reasons Why a 1 out of 10?
1 to 10, I think you mean.
1 to
but
10, yeah.
I would probably
No, he actually assigned that rating to you. You can only give it a 1 out of 10.
Let's see. I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. It would be like a 9.5, but I have 2 big issues with it. The first being all the questions opened up at the end. I felt like they came out of nowhere, and like I was annoyed that like nothing got answered and we didn't at least see the court case or any of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing being, Clay seems to be a fairly popular kid. Like he has a bunch of friends. Everyone seems to know him and know who he is, but no one manages to like realize that his attitude has completely changed the moment he starts carrying around Beats headphones and a Walkman. I feel like that's like a big like flag or like just a standout thing, but everyone acts like it's completely normal to carry around a Walkman in 2017.
I think there's just to sort of combat that really. I think there is a difference to everyone knowing him to everyone liking him. Because while it did seem that everyone knew his name, it really didn't seem like he had a lot of friends outside of like Jeff and maybe like Sherry for a while there. So really, they would have been the only ones, and obviously Jeff was gone by that point.
And also, to be fair, I think they were trying to portray the fact that like that's the problem, is people weren't noticing that stuff. They weren't noticing the signs.
That's fair. That's like, fair.
That's what they were trying to change. That's why he even said like we need to change what we're doing here.
Yeah. But like even his parents would like come into his room and he'd just like freak out and like just like throw shit under his blanket and be like, nothing's wrong here.
I ain't doing no drugs.
And his parents were just like, yeah, I think something's wrong with our child. I don't know what it is. And that was like one of my issues with it. So just 8 out of 10. It was still very good.
Okay.
I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I would recommend it to everybody because it's very important. But yeah, 8 out of 10.
Okay, Travis, what about you?
I'm actually a little bit higher than Mr. Danger Johnson here. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I was circling around an 8.5 and a 9. It's kind of somewhere in the middle, but I think I'm going toward the high end here. I'm going to go toward a 9. It was very, very good. It was so well done. I think that I was just so impressed with the cinematography of it that's what really swayed me from an 8.5 to a 9. Because of the fact that it was so well shot, the transitions were so well done, it was just so well put together, and plus I have that whole Life is Strange love going on, so I really appreciated that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, and Zach, what about you?
This is actually the opposite of how it normally works. Usually it's like the exact opposite, but I'm going to agree with Travis here, because I did have some problems with it. I felt like sort of in the middle episodes, it was just sort of like, all right, like you're like get on to it, you know, like we filler. Know like all this. I felt like there was some filler in the middle, and I do get it. Like every little detail matters so much, but I felt like they were teasing all of the big stuff so much that it sort of distracted me from the little things where it didn't mean as much, like the stuff with Courtney or like with Marcus, and so because I was just waiting, like what did Clay do, like what really happened here, so. That was a little bit of a factor for me, but so I was like at 8.5 for a while, but now I'm up to a 9 as well, just because the big difference for me is how well it's made. Like Travis said, the transitions, the cinematography, the directing, the acting, even the writing, the story structure was so good, and I just loved the way everything was written about it. So I'm at a 9 out of 10, just mainly purely, which raises it up because of how well it was made.
Okay, and for me, I'm going to be giving the show 13 Reasons Why an 8.8 out of 10. And so yeah, our score between the four of us is going to be coming out to an 8.7 out of 10. So yeah. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Any reasons, Pedro?
And, well, okay. Well, I mean,
you got how many?
any new reasons that no one else said?
Yeah.
I mean, there's really not much I can else say, beyond you guys. Yeah. But I mean, I really did like the show. I mean, I will say this, that I mean, I ended up watching the show. I mean, I think I was on like episode 2, and I was like, because when they were talking about like, it's like, because everybody kept saying like Clay's tape is the worst one, like he did something terrible. I'm like, what the fuck could it be? Like how else could that?
Yeah, how could it be worse than Bryce?
Yeah. So, so I'm like, I have to know. So I literally watched from episode 2 all the way to episode 8 in one night. I was like up till 4 a.m. I had work the next morning, but I still didn't even get to Clay's tape yet. I was so pissed. But
yeah, usually what I do is I just take like 2, maybe 3 days. I just sort of binge through all of it. But this time I actually I watched like basically like 2 episodes a day. I just sort of slowly paced my way through it. And then like last night, before the show, I was going to watch I had 4 left. I was going to watch the last 4 all last night. And I watched the last 2, or the like episodes, what number would they be, 10 and 11? And 11 obviously was Clay's tape, and it ends with that huge emotional scene, and I was just like, wow, like I'm gonna take the night off here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let my emotions rest for the night, and I'm gonna come back and finish the last 2 in the morning. Like I just had to take a break from that. So yeah, like I said, very heavy. A lot of good stuff in there, though, and I definitely think that while it's not really like language and everything they show graphic-wise is not really suitable for kids, but honestly, like I feel like it's a must-watch for high schoolers, man. Like I really do.
Even middle schoolers, to be honest. Like you even experienced some of that middle school.
I don't know about middle schoolers to watch right now,
but language and the graphic stuff. But I mean, there's a lot of good stuff and a really good message in there about these serious issues.
Yeah, I think it's also very important for like parents to watch if their kid is going into middle school or high school. I think it's very important so they can know at least somewhat what to look for.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. So we're going to get into our Rotten Tomatoes portion where I'm going to have these 3 guys guess the Rotten Tomatoes score for 13 Reasons Why Season 1. So, Kevin, we'll start with you. What is your prediction for the Rotten Tomatoes score?
94.
94% for Kevin. Zach, what about you?
I'm going to go a little bit lower. I'm going to say... I don't really want to price this right, though. I'm going to say 92%.
92%. Okay. Travis, what about you?
I'm going higher than Kevin. I'm going to say 97.
97% for Travis. Well, Zachary is the closest because it is at 90%.
Ooh,
damn it.
So close.
That is way lower than I thought it was going to be at.
I mean, it's really right where you and I predicted it, Travis. We were.
I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, absolutely. So. But like, I thought people would enjoy it way more than that. I've been hearing nothing but good things about it. So.
Yeah. Well,
that's why I guessed high. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it has 30 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, so yeah, it's not too many, but yeah, really good show. And we are going to be getting into our recommendation portion of the show, where I am going to be recommending a movie for people at home to watch on Netflix, whether if it's a show or movie. So guys, for me, I'm going to have you guys watch Better. There's a show that is a spin-off from a very good show that's also on Netflix, Breaking Bad, but the spin-off show Better Call Saul, season 1. It's a really good show. I think they're almost done with season 3. With Better Call Saul.
Season three just started today.
Oh, it just started. Okay, wow.
It just started. Today was the premiere.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah. So definitely get on Better Call Saul. It's a really good show and great. One of the spinoff of one of the greatest dramas on TV, which is Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So
if you like Breaking Bad, you will like Better Call Saul. And
yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone likes Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows like ever.
Yeah, it is. It is my favorite show of all time. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely watch Better Call Saul. It's good.
Yeah, and now we're going to tell you guys what we are going to be watching and reviewing next week for Netflix and Chillin'. And Travis, you're the one picking. What are we going to be reviewing next week?
Well, for next week, I picked the very highly rated, as far as I know, I don't know, I could be wrong, Netflix show. I think it's actually a movie.
No, it's a documentary.
Documentary series. I had picked Making a Murderer, the Netflix original.
Yeah, it's definitely. I can't wait to talk about that with you guys. I want to get your perspective with that.
Yeah, I've been on kind of a murder kick ever since the OJ thing.
Oh,
so, he's got the. You should
you're on a murder kick, huh?
I got
right here in his living room. He has the.
I got that twinkle in my eye.
This bulletin board. And he's all these pinned things on there of rooms or possible body locations. I don't know, man. But ever since we watched OJ, I've been getting a weird vibe.
I hooked a pushpin board up, and there's a bunch of pictures of this house and some rooms, for various reasons.
Okay.
I won't get into those reasons though.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this newest edition of Netflix and Chillin'. I hope you guys enjoyed 13 Reasons Why as much as we did. And Kevin Danger Johnson, I'd like to thank you again for being a part of this episode. And we hope to have you again on either Real Talk eventually in the coming future or another episode of Netflix and Chillin'. So
yeah, no problem, baby.
Yeah, so yeah, damn, I'm completely lost track now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys,
that's what the soothing voice of Kevin Danger Johnson does to you.
The danger. The Johnson.
Guys, Stay tuned for our other weekly show called Real Talk. It's on every Wednesday. And check out our other P&D channel called P&D Gaming. And the first video on that channel has been uploaded where I talk about my computer stuff. And yeah, so look out for that channel. That'll be in the description box below for that. And yeah. So if there's anything else, I don't think there's anything else to mention. Subscribe, comment, like, thumbs up. Do whatever you guys can to support this channel. And we will see you guys in our next video. Peace out.
Travis, kill yourself.